This is one of the earliest examples of the JE Camira. Built in Dandenong in April 1987, and it is number 916 built. In fact, it is such an early example of the JE Camira that even in the owner's manual, it doesn't have JE listed, but it is the original one. It's all filled in by the dealer, but the manual is for a JD Camira. This Camira has been very, very fortunate because all of the owners of this car have really cared about it. And Chris, the current owner of this car, is the fourth owner. And throughout the whole car's life, it has had some optional extras added. So it's had its mud flaps, had a little tow package put on, it's had the louvers put on, and it's had the trip computer put on as well. None of these are aftermarket. They are all genuine Holden accessories for the car, and I really, really think that they suit it and they just tie the whole thing together. So this is a copy here of the sales receipt. We do have the original one, but this one is just laminated for display. It is really, really cool because not only does it show that this car was bought for $20,856, but a Gemini was traded in on it and they got $5,656 for that. And it also says just here that it has been optioned with air conditioning and mud flaps. This car is lovingly nicknamed Beryl after its original owner. As I've always said in my videos, one of the most special parts about these old cars, especially ones in such good condition like this, and is the interiors. It is such a special place to be. This thing it's absolutely spotless in here, and it shares a lot of material and everything with the VL Calais, which is exciting. Chris has made one small change in this interior, and that is putting these little headrest inserts from the VL. And because they're all the same fabric, it really suits it. It doesn't stand out at all, and I actually really like it. It just really adds to it, especially being the SLE. Everything works in here as well. Everything, all the headlights, all the tail lights, everything works. There's a little glow at the front here near the ashtray. All the dash lights work. It's phenomenal. This thing is really a piece of history. And I've just noticed that it has electric mirrors. That's really cool. It even has an electric antenna. This car is really, really exciting because there is just so few of these left. And not only are there so few of them left, but so few left in this condition. It's really amazing that one has survived as good as this has. And one of the optional extras on this car is the auto boot release. How cool is that? Not only is it automatic, but the boot in this thing is huge. Surprisingly, for the size of this little car, I am shocked by how big it is. And like the rest of the car, it's extremely clean. And because it's an SLE, it is carpeted. Not only is the carpet clean, under the carpet is exceptional. It looks brand new. The jack doesn't have a scratch on it. The styrofoam is complete. It's actually insane how clean it is back here. I mean, just have a look at it. Leo Pruno, the former head of design for GM, has even signed this car. That is how special this example of a Camira is. Inside this spotless engine bay, it's Holden's 2-litre EFI. I actually had a car on the channel a month ago or so that had this exact engine, the VN Commodore. I don't know if you guys remember that, but this is the car that it was predominantly in. And this particular one runs fantastic, as you would expect. And one thing that's really, really cool is that in the engine bay, there are a few little imperfections, not through ownership, not through anything like that, but from Holden. There's a handful of little paint runs and just little details like that are really cool, and they show that this car was made by a human being, somebody working in Dandenong and not by a machine. So that's really cool. The undercarriage of this old girl has also been detailed within an inch of its life. It's a little bit hard for me to show you, so you will have to take my word for it a little bit. It's like it's just rolled off the assembly line. Right, guys, so we have pulled the car out of the shed now. We're in a nice quiet little spot. And I've just driven it here, and this thing, it drives tight as a drum, which really is no surprise considering the outside of the car. But listen to this thing. Like, unreal. For a car this age is really, really impressive. So we'll just go for a drive here. And again, this thing it's a piece of motoring history in Australia. I'm not going to be doing 0 to 100s and racing between the lights. Like, that's not what this car is about. This is about showing you guys what Holden used to be and exploring and showing these cars off, because the Commodores and the Kingswoods, they get a lot of love and attention, but these don't. And I would love to show these cars off, and because of this channel, I have had access to one of these, and not just anyone. This one's in fantastic condition. If you guys are familiar with the channel, you might know that I had a VN that had this motor, one that was imported from New Zealand, in my shed a few months ago, and this has the same engine, exactly the same. But yeah, one thing that's unreal about the dash, and you might see this in the point of view video, is that it's got the kilopascals for the fuel pressure. Really cool, quirky car, and I'm really enjoying driving this thing. One thing that I absolutely love is the horn pad. I know that it might seem lame, but it's just really cool. I love all the old Holden logo, and again, this thing drives great. It's so comfy, it's relaxing, it's a cruiser, and you know, well, it would be. It's the SLE, it's the top of the line. You're enjoying this car, like it is. There is not many of these left, and especially this condition, really similar to the VN 4-cylinder that I had. Just a really rare piece of Aussie history, and how often do you see these on the road anymore? I mean, the ones that are, people are usually in their shed, you know, keeping them for a rainy day, keeping them for Holden days and stuff, and restoring them and looking after them. And as you can hear as well, now that I think about it, there's no squeaks, there's no rattles, there's nothing. There is no old car nonsense with this thing. It drives great. It drives like a new car, and I absolutely adore this thing. Well, guys, that's going to be it for the little JE Camira. I really enjoyed coming out to see this car and just experiencing something that is just so rare. You just don't see these cars anymore, and I hope that you can see my passion about this car and my excitement through my face. And I know that Chris, the owner of this car, feels exactly the same way. He absolutely adores this thing, and after spending a few hours with it, I really can see why. This car has been given a lot of love and attention, and driving it and experiencing it, the car loves you back. And I know that sounds a bit silly. I just sort of made that up, but it's true. It's a really nice car to drive, and it just runs and drives great. In fact, this car has even won a few of its own trophies. It has won Special Interest Car at All Holden Day in Dandenong twice. It won Top Original at Show Cars Melbourne. So at the Fisherman's Bend 75-year celebration, it won Best Car from 1983 to 2017 in December 2022. So the video almost doesn't do it justice. This car is absolutely spectacular, and it presents fantastically. And I really appreciate Chris for loaning me the car for the day. So if these are your kind of videos, guys, and you like these Holdens, or if you'd like your own car on the channel, please follow along, subscribe, get in touch, and thank you for watching.